Our story begins with Chan, who is a poor university student who loves historical books. One day, he's searching online for a new book when he finds one that he's very interested in. He goes to the store where it's being sold, and as soon as he steps inside, he feels a strange atmosphere. The lights flicker, and he hears a mysterious voice. He quickly grabs the book he wants, screams, and runs out of the store thinking, this place must be haunted. Despite his fear, he's happy because he got the book he wanted. However, as we all know, good things don't last long. While he is walking, he bumps into a girl who is being chased by a street gang. They catch her, beat her, and take her money. Our hero Chan sees what is happening, but is too scared to interfere. Yet the real shock is that his book falls. The gang leader notices it and picks it up. When he realizes it's just a history book, he laughs and says he'll use its pages as toilet paper. At that moment, Chan pleads, saying, please, that's my book, and I want it back. The leader smirks and says, I won't give it back. Show me what you can do. His mocking words make Chan's blood boil, so he grabs the book and strikes the leader, then runs as fast as he can. The leader chases him. After some time, Chan reaches a park, and when he looks back, he sees no one and thinks he escaped. But no, my friend. Suddenly, a magical barrier surrounds the place, and the leader appears telling him, you didn't know, boy, that you hit the strongest sorcerer in the city. And not only that, I also own the strongest weapon. By weapon, he means his huge human-like servant. Because most powerful sorcerers have weapons in human form, let's call them assistants to make it easier. This assistant attacks Chan with a gust of air, sending him flying, then strikes him repeatedly, cutting his body, leaving him torn and broken. The cruel leader doesn't stop. He stomps on him, calling him worthless trash. Our hero bleeds heavily, almost dying, whispering, I just wanted to live. I didn't even do anything wrong. I only wanted my book. But before he can finish his words, suddenly he is transported to a strange place where he hears a voice saying, don't worry, I'll help you. In the real world, enormous energy fills the area, and out of nowhere, a man appears. His name is Bai. The assistant of the leader attacks at full speed, but Bai blocks the strike with just one finger. Clearly, he's on another level. Then B heals Chan with magic, and when the boy wakes up, he is shocked that all his wounds are gone. At that same moment, the assistant throws a powerful attack at them, but shockingly, it doesn't even shake Bai. Instead, it angers him. He unleashes a legendary magic strike that explodes and destroys the entire place, killing both the assistant and the gang leader. Afterward, B removes the barrier and takes Chan home so he can rest. The next morning, Chan wakes up, goes outside with B, and asks him to explain what happened. B calmly says, when you were dying, you summoned me. I am a secret weapon in human form, but because your magic is weak right now, I am not at full strength, and even my memories are blurry. Chan laughs and tells him, don't worry, everything will be fine. Let's just go back home. B agrees, and they return together. But suddenly, while they are sitting, Chan's mother calls him saying, someone wants to meet him. So Chan hides B and goes outside, only to be surprised by a beautiful girl who says she saw him at the university and wants to walk with him. The poor boy blushes and hesitates, but finally agrees and walks with her. On the way, he says, sorry, but we don't know each other well. She smiles and replies, my name is Sue, then instantly summons 2 followers, revealing that she actually came here to make a deal with him and take his weapon. While she is talking, B himself arrives, approaches her with charming words, and flirts with her. When she sees his face, she is stunned and impressed, while our poor hero just stands there, speechless. Back to the background, nobody paid attention to him, but Chan suddenly stops everything and makes it clear to Sue that he will never hand Bai over to her. Immediately, he grabs him and returns home, where Bai sits with him and starts explaining more about the matter of weapons. He says that basically every weapon comes from a giant vault, and these weapons are either once possessed by legendary warriors, or they themselves are unmatched legendary weapons. They are divided into 4 levels. The 4th level is the weakest, then the 3rd, then the 2nd, then the 1st. In some legends, it is said there exists level 0, which is the monster level that no one has ever reached. Bai right now is at level 2, but unfortunately, his power is incomplete and his memory is blurry because of our hero's magical strength. Also, every person can summon at most 2 weapons. As for the attackers, they are members of a large organization whose only goal is to collect magical weapons to participate in the Warriors tournament. Hearing this makes Chan realize that Sue too will participate. She tells him there's no problem but warns him to be careful because this tournament is extremely dangerous. The boy confidently replies, don't worry, I won't be the one fighting anyway. Sue calls him an idiot and says, haven't you noticed? In your duel with the gang leader, he died in the end, even though B's strike didn't touch him, but hit his weapon instead. This is the real danger. If a person's weapon dies, then the owner dies too, and vice vice versa, meaning their souls are bound together. If one perishes, the other follows. This revelation shocks Chan deeply. Meanwhile, we see the organization's members gathered, reporting everything to their leader, who yells angrily at Otto for failing but then says, "Never mind, the most important thing now is preparing for the tournament. The event we've all been waiting for many years, and it looks like things are about to catch fire." Back to our hero Chan. Despite everything, he still decides to participate, so Sue tells him she'll take him to her home to train. He agrees. They all go, and Chan is stunned by the size of her massive house. He tells Sue he cannot stay long because he has to care for his parents, but Sue reassures him not to worry. Sue had prepared everything. Though our hero didn't really understand at first, the moment he entered the house, he forgot all about it because he found his mother sitting there drinking tea. Sue quickly took him aside into another room and explained that she brought his mother here because someone might harm her, and she even sent an invitation to his father too, but he refused. So right now, she wants him to summon a second weapon since every person can have 2 weapons at most, but our hero only has 1. Of course, he doesn't refuse the idea. Sue teaches him the ritual. He performs it and successfully summons a little girl named Gigi, who immediately pledges her loyalty to him for life. We learn that she is also level 2, just like Bai. While she is still speaking, Sue calls them, saying dinner is ready. So they all go to eat and are shocked by the delicious-looking food. Even Sue herself is surprised and wonders who cooked it since her chefs have never made anything like this. It turns out that Chan's mother was the one who cooked everything. The young ones start eating and love every single dish, especially the 2 assistants. By the way, the male assistant is called Blue and the female one is called Red. After dinner, our hero and Bai head to the hot springs to relax. While soaking, Bai asks him why he helped Sue, and the boy answers that Sue is actually very kind because she cared about his family and brought them here, though of course he would never tell her this directly. All the while, Sue is standing nearby, secretly listening, her face turning red as she blushes and rushes away embarrassed. Later, Chan's mother decides she should return home to her husband because he is alone and surely needs her. Sue tries to stop her, but she insists and leaves. Then, Sue tells Chan to go get some rest since he has training ahead and the tournament is approaching. The boy agrees and goes to sleep. On the 3rd day, he wakes up and begins his training with all the others, doing his best to become stronger in combat. After finishing the training, he heads out with Sue and the others to the street because he wants to buy a book. While they are walking, he spots the bookstore a little further ahead and says he'll go alone. Sue says no problem, but as soon as he walks off, in a flash, a small boy appears, furious for some unknown reason, and instantly summons his weapon. Sue quickly activates a magic barrier because things look dangerous. Without greetings or words, Blue transforms into his second form and charges at the weapon. Their clash ignites a fierce fight, but unfortunately, the attack is blocked, and this weapon, known as Sora, counters with very powerful blows. The fight heats up and unexpectedly Blue gets badly injured. Then Red also transforms, and together they unleash a combined strike, but sadly, the result is not what they hoped for. The attack doesn't affect Sora at all. Instead, it enrages him. He charges at Sue with a legendary magic strike that is about to hit her, but at the very last moment, Chan arrives, our hero of tough situations, and saves her. Sora returns to strike again, but this time B is ready. He swiftly casts a magical shield that protects everyone. Within seconds, B realizes that Sora's power is at level 1, the legendary level. When Sora sees Bai, he is shocked, instantly recognizing him. B looks at him and asks, "How do you even know me?" But before Sora can answer, the child suddenly screams because there is a loud voice in his head telling him to join. Sora obeys and goes to him, helping him up. This child's name is revealed to be Kai. Then Sora takes him and says they will meet again another time, disappearing from the place through a teleportation gate. At that point, everyone is exhausted from the fierce battle, so they all return to their homes to rest. The next day, our hero wakes up and suddenly finds his father in the house. His father immediately questions him angrily, asking, "Where have you been all this time?" The boy tries to brush it off, saying he had important things to do, but his father shouts at him, calling him useless, a worthless nobody, and even accuses him of spending time at Sue's mansion. Our hero doesn't want to reveal the truth, so he tells his father that Sue is a respectable girl and he is currently working on important matters. But this only enrages the father more. He warns Chan never to see that girl again, leaving the boy upset and hurt. So he goes out to walk the streets for a while. Meanwhile, Sue is sitting in her place when she suddenly receives a visit from a very important figure, the King of Magic, who warns her that dangerous events are coming and she must stay alert. She barely has time to respond when her phone vibrates with a message. She opens it and is shocked to see a video of Kai holding people tied up with flames burning around them. Without delay, she excuses herself from the king and rushes off with her assistants to find Kai. On the way, she calls our hero, telling him something dangerous has happened. There is no time to explain, and asks him to stay inside her house because an attack from the organization could come at any moment. The boy agrees. She ends the call, and about 10 minutes later, she reaches the place shown in the video, but finds no one burning. Immediately realizing it is a trap, she tries to call Chan to warn him, but someone smashes her phone. When she looks up, she is completely shocked to see a girl from the Grand Organization. Her name is Queen, and beside her stands Kai and his assistant, Sora. The whole gang is gathered. Blue and Red instantly transform into their combat forms. In that moment, Queen surprises everyone with a sudden powerful strike aimed straight at Sue. It's devastating, but luckily, Blue leaps in and saves her at the very last moment. This shocks Sue because Queen is human, so how could she have such inhuman power? If she were a weapon, it would make sense, but this is something else entirely. Queen sneers and tells Sue that a pampered girl like her, living in a giant mansion, could never imagine the suffering she went through to reach this strength. Blue shouts enough and unleashes a special combined technique with Red, an attack that can injure an opponent without even touching them. But the shocking result is that even this legendary strike, which once injured the strongest enemies in the world, has no effect on Queen. Instead, she speeds up and attacks Blue relentlessly, forcing him to dodge right and left, but finally, she lands a crushing blow that leaves him gravely injured. Red charges in foolishly, but Queen simply kicks her away, then wraps both of them in a storm of lightning. Their screams of pain echo as Sue stands helpless, crying and begging them to stop because if they continue like this, they will die. But Blue and Red tell her through their agony that all this time they lived by her side, and she thought of them only as weapons, but in truth they see her as their own daughter and they cannot give up now. Either they die protecting her, or they fight until their very last breath. Hearing this fills Sue with overwhelming emotion. A strange light bursts forth, and suddenly Blue and Red revert to their original weapon forms. Sue grabs both in her hands, fury burning in her eyes, and declares, "It's time to get serious." But before continuing, dear friends, hit that like button below. And if there is any anime you want to see recapped, write its name in the comments and subscribe to the channel because when your anime drops, we'll make sure you get notified instantly. Now, let's continue with the story. On the other side, we see some of Sue's allies heading to her house, where they inform our hero that an attack from the organization is about to happen. The boy quickly thinks of a clever plan and executes it. Soon after, we see a squad of soldiers arrive led by Otto and Long. Gigi steps forward to face them. Otto quickly understands the situation and orders his assistant to attack. Gigi pretends to flee, tricking him, and because Otto is arrogant, he falls for it and chases her with Long following. Before leaving, he commands the soldiers to seize the house since it's now unprotected. But as soon as they storm in, they are met by Bai along with Sue's friends, turning the place into a slaughterhouse. The battle begins. Sue's allies clash with the soldiers, cutting them down in seconds. Bai follows up with a devastating magic strike, shaking the ground and throwing everyone to the floor. As he moves in to finish them, Chan desperately tries to stop him, but it's useless. In an instant, Bai releases the final strike that wipes them all out completely, leaving Chan furious. But Bai simply says, "Never forget, you cannot show mercy to enemies, and since you chose to join this tournament, prepare yourself. The tournament means you must learn a little cruelty. So let's return, my friend, to Sue, who was running straight at Queen, striking her hard, but Queen barely managed to block. Sue didn't give up. She came again and again until finally she landed a blow that hurled Queen back, smashing her against the wall. At that point, Queen was at her limit, almost unable to continue, yet she gathered all her strength into one final magical strike, launching it. But luckily, Sue dodged at the very last second and seized the chance to counter, unleashing fire magic that burned Queen badly. Seeing the tables turned completely against her, Queen retreated, fleeing the place, Kai doing the same and vanishing with her. Sue collapsed to the ground, exhausted after using such a massive amount of power. Meanwhile, Gigi had stopped running. Otto ordered his assistant to attack, and indeed he did, but Gigi blocked with her sword. Just as the ninja tried to sneak up behind her, B suddenly arrived, intercepting the strike with his magic. Otto laughed mockingly and told them, "Do you really think you can defeat us? No way." Then he commanded both his assistant and the ninja girl to begin the real fight. She quickly disappeared into stealth, while the assistant clashed head-on with Bai, the two colliding fiercely. Our hero grew anxious because at any moment the ninja could sneak up and finish Bai. He desperately searched for a solution until an idea struck him. He rushed at Otto and ordered Gigi to strike. She was about to land the blow when the ninja appeared and blocked it. Bai saw the chance and used his crystal magic strike, but Otto's assistant threw up a barrier just in time to save them. You think the disaster ends there? Not at all. In the blink of an eye, the ninja lunged with her blade and blood hit the ground. But the shocking part was that it wasn't our hero's blood. It was Gigi's. Yes, my friend. The girl took the strike for him, sacrificing herself. Despite her severe wound, she pushed the ninja back and said, "Never dare to harm my master." Then, in tears of pain, she whispered to our hero that she was sorry she couldn't protect him anymore, her voice fading as her body went went still. He tried to wake her, but she wouldn't respond. The boy broke down, crying his heart out, while Otto didn't care at all, ordering his assistant to keep fighting B. The assistant attacked, but Bai blocked every strike with a single hand. If you think the attacks were weak, no, they were strong enough to cut tree leaves to pieces. Bai urged Chan to focus, but the boy was lost in grief. In that moment, the assistant slammed Bai with a powerful hit that threw him far away. As he approached, ready to finish him, reinforcements arrived. Blue and Red rushed in with Sue beside them. She went straight to check on Gigi. Our hero told her she was already dead, but Sue refused to believe it, checking her pulse and gasping to find she was still alive. Without hesitation, Sue cast 2 incantations, one healing and the other to return her to weapon form, telling Chan her body was recovering, but she had to return her to weapon state to heal faster without draining too much energy. Otto was frozen in shock because Sue should have been drained of power after the earlier battle, yet she cast 2 powerful spells at once. Sue explained her 3 friends had lent her their energy. Meanwhile, Blue and Red were fiercely attacking Otto's assistant, striking him again and again, leaving him reeling. What made things even worse for him was that B regained his full strength, though it felt unnatural. Otto muttered that the situation was turning bad, but this time he wouldn't run. Today was different because he would reveal his secret skill. Long tried to stop him, warning that if the leader found out, he would be punished severely, but Otto insisted there was no other choice. With determination, he activated the forbidden technique, and suddenly his assistant's power skyrocketed, his aura pressing down over the whole place. Red slashed with her sword, but he blocked with ease. Blue bravely charged too, but the assistant stopped him cold, saying, "No more mercy," then slammed both Blue and Red back with one strike, destroying the strange dimension and dragging everyone back into the real world. And now everyone stands shocked by Kai's terrifying new form. Chan immediately orders Timo and his soldiers to strike. The 3 unleash a triple explosive magical attack, blasting it at Kai, but he blocks it, only to be shocked when he sees Chan and B merge.